never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
Lass deinen Traum wahr werden. Wird zum Profi. ochsnerhockey.ch
Number 20, Victoria Lachetti. Number 9, Karen Levin. 21, Karen Bilger. winners for today's game are Miss Martina Senikola and Miss Radka Sikova. USA, player number 24, Taylor Stephan, 2 minutes for holding, time 5:24. Strafe Team USA spielen Nummer 24, Taylor Stephan, 2 Minuten für Martin, Zeit 5 Minuten 24. Canada, player number 47, Visp and Raron, 2 minutes for tripping, time 7:45. Team Kanada, Spielerin Nummer 47, Visp and Raron, 2 Minuten für Einstellen. Zeit 7 Minuten 45. Team Canada playing full strength. Team Canada playing.
Hey, hockey fans, welcome back. First game of the women's semifinals. Apologize for the delay. Mass confusion here in Visp, Switzerland with the local road construction crews. Don't understand why the road was closed. Unfortunate. Apologize for being 10 minutes late for the start of the game. But it is what it is. I'm here, your play-by-play announcer, Chris Pekanowitz, going to bring you the best possible action I can. Got a lot of games to call today. Here's a shot and a pad save and a rebound attempt is stuffed. I don't have rosters yet. I basically have nothing in front of me. I'm going to try and get all set up and organized here as I normally would have before the game. As we have a 0-0 score here, Canada and the United States. Winner of this game will play in the women's gold medal game versus the winner of the next game between the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Canada, the number 2 seed, United States, the number 3 seed. As the ball is chipped up there into the neutral zone, picked up by the United States. Rifled along towards the far boards. Battle along the far boards. U.S. walks it out. Shot right on net. Went to the chest protector, just poked wide. United States with some pressure now in the zone. Deflected off of a stick, goes into the corner. U.S. giving chase. And we're going to get a tripping call here. Was trying to communicate with my technical team about the need for rosters. They're on it right now as we speak. Again, apologies for the disorganization here. Mass chaos breaking out in Visp. Apparently on the roads early this morning. I don't know if there was a rock fall or what, but I have one in the freezer. Yeah. So Canada on the power play. Last minute of play here in the first period. Golden opportunity for Canada. They've been dangerous on the power play all week long. Shot! Goes off the side of the net. The penalty was on Stedman, 2 minutes for tripping. Canada very patient. Back to the point. As we get a whistle here. And it looks like the U.S. is going to get wholesale line changes. Canada working the power play. Long shot right into the glove of the U.S. netminder. Trying to see the number here on the replay, because I can get a roster while we're waiting for that to be printed out. I can get stats on stats.isbhf.com, as can you. Back to the point. Canada walking it in. Shot goes wide off the backboards. Throttled around to the far boards. U.S. trying to collapse down, clog the shooting lane. Centering attempt goes off of a foot. Into the near corner. 6 seconds left. Canada screaming to get it on net. They're running out of time here. Shot easily patted aside. And that's going to do it, as the U.S. will just eat that up. So I'll go ahead, again, apologize for all of the chaos and confusion. Let's try and put that behind us. I'll get everybody up to speed here during the intermission, get my rosters printed, talk with my technical team, find out exactly what happened. And then we will have all of the action remaining here in a scoreless affair between the number 2 seed Canada and the number 3 seed the United States. 0-0, 10-minute break between periods. We'll be back to bring you the start of the action here.
ochsnerhockey.ch wahr werden, wird zum Profi. ochsnerhockey.ch
Welcome back, Team Canada. Welcome back, Team USA. Welcome back, Sierra.
All right, we are back here as Canada takes possession, still on the woman advantage with 50 seconds left. Canada with possession, good look at the net, nice save. So right now, that was the 6th save for Keely Prokue in net for the U.S. As Canada still working the woman advantage here, but the ball, errant pass, comes towards the near boards as they regain the zone. I was watching the play down low there, and it looks like Canada was trying to set up for a tic-tac-toe pass as the ball is intercepted by the U.S. Are they able to get it clear? Potential breakout here for the United States. Kirsten Coos hustling back, shot, oh, what a stop! Just as the power play ends, the United States gets stymied, shot, gets poked up into the air. Oh my goodness, what an opportunity for the United States. That was number 11, Hannah Lindy. Pass goes deep into the near boards, back to the point. Taylor Stedman with it, back to the point. Long wrist shot in, blocked. It's a huge save for Keely Prokue in Canada, I'll tell you. That could have been a big momentum changer in this game. Last thing you want to see is your team fail to score on the power play, and then as the penalty expires, right, you end up giving a breakaway shorthanded goal. We've seen it happen a lot in professional ice hockey at the NHL level. It just turns into a momentum killer, and based on my discussions with the people here in the arena for the majority of the first period, they feel like Canada has the momentum in this game so far. A lot of errant passes from the United States as a wraparound attempt is stuff, and then the net gets dislodged. United States screaming. So I'm joined in the booth here by our referee-in-chief, Michael Wabi. He's going to help give me some color commentating to try and save my voice. I got to call a lot of games today. Mike, when the net is dislodged like that for the fans back home, do the players have the right to ask for a call there?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, referees are looking to see who's dislodging the net. Who's dislodging the net? So, you know, it basically has an indication as where the face-off's going to be. So we now have a stoppage inside the zone here. Nobody's touching the net. You're going to see our lovely Martina here. She's a fabulous referee who's going to take the face-off down low.
All right, a lot of fans in attendance here for both Canada and the United States as we're back to the action. Referee ready for the draw. Face-off one to the near boards by Canada. Rifled all the way around. Poke check forward by the Canadians and then intercepted by the Americans, but good read on the play there on the part of number 26 for Canada, Chelsea Karpenko. Read that play perfectly and then poked it back deep into the U.S. zone as the U.S. tries to get some pressure now in the Canadian zone after they feel like they have the momentum, successfully killing that woman advantage. Their shot hit a body in front as the United States is trying to get it down deep to Alexandra Vakos. U.S. hustling, that's Victoria Bigetti. Pinching in down deep from the point. Canada able to just play a little bit of pitch and catch here in their own zone. 11:40 remaining in the game. And I believe that's going to end up in a flooring call as referee puts her arm up here. So as I've been, for those who have joined us back home and have just recently, you know, basically bought the playoff pass for the stream. So flooring, right, Mike, is the same as icing in ice hockey, right? We just play on a floor. We call it icing. But for the fans back home, is there effectively any difference?
No, there's absolutely no difference. It's just a different use of terminology. Flooring is icing. It's the exact same thing. I got to tell you, both teams here are pressing hard. I'm very impressed with how the teams have come out at this early morning here, and the energy is just electric. So I'm really impressed and curious to see what this outcome is going to be.
As am I, Mike. Yeah, for an early start, I think it's fair to say this is the most energized you've seen two teams. Obviously, it's the semifinals, right? Players are going to be amped up, but you know, these is two North American teams playing at what is effectively 2 a.m. for them, right? So good to see them both amped up. The fans as well.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, from an officiating perspective, when these two ladies, Martina and Radka, were given this assignment, their faces lit up. They are ecstatic. They were here an hour and a half early, doing their pregame protocol, going over rules, playoff protocols. So it seems like everybody's excited.
They are. Electric atmosphere here at Lonzo Arena. Long shot, easily stick to side there. Nice job on the part of number 29, Brooke Waleko. Apologies, I'm Polish. I should be able to pronounce that name, Waleko.
You're good. Sounds great.
Long shot from the point is fanned on by the captain and 2022 Hall of Famer Kirsten Kuz, as that shot was redirected up on Waleko. Boy, I'll tell you, Mike, we've seen some deflections, particularly that one from Josh Barbas on Greece on the howitzer on the power play.
Yes.
It's really hard to deflect the ball in ball hockey in general, but at this level, these players are really good at it.
I can tell you the accuracy and precision of the ball movement in this tournament has been state-of-the-art. Especially these two teams. If you just watch here, the way the ball is moving and circulating from one lady to the next, it's been fantastic. Here comes USA coming up here. Keep your eye on the ball here, the ball movement. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. They're very crisp, very sharp on their passes, and certainly when you get into what we call here, they're at the deep end of the pool, this level of the tournament, you got to be crisp on your passes. You got to be sharp. You can't afford the little minor mental mistakes that can turn into catastrophe, as we almost saw there at the end of that power play where the U.S. had Hannah Lindy walk in all alone on Kili Prokyu. Prokyu ended up making a big save there. That could have been disastrous for the Canadians as the ball bounces up to the far boards and the U.S. trying to get deep into the zone, but now they're going to go for some fresh legs here. Thought they were going to apply a forecheck, but they're just going to sit back right now and try and regain control through the neutral zone. Canadian player loses their footing. Referee has their arm up. So it's not a penalty, obviously, because the United States has possession. It was just an offsides.
Yeah, she had the delayed offside there, but well, it looks like we have a potential minor coming. Yep, we've got, looks like Martina on the far end there. She's just indicated the signal for interference. The interference signal is the 2 arms across his chest. So
we'll take a look at the replay here. There's the call, interference, as the captain, Kirsten Coos, goes off. So I have to say, Mike, I've called a lot of games this week. I think interference is probably the #1 call I've seen so far. Is that your experience in general with ball hockey as the referee-in-chief? Most common penalty?
I'd say it's probably one of the most common penalties called at this level is when the defender's impeding in the forward motion, not making an effort to take away the ball.
All right, golden opportunity here for the United States to go up early on, well, not early, we're in the halfway through the second here, to go up on Canada. Pass down low, off the stick of Sarah Houston. U.S. wheeling behind the net. That was Vakos with it. Back to Houston, now to Vakos. Vakos looking for an outlet pass. The United States has Becky Dobson in front. She's really strong on the body there. Shot from the point, blocked, but then somehow trickled through off the pads of Kelly Procchio. So when we talk about clogging shooting lanes here, right, at this level, Mike, that's a perfect example for the young ladies back home who want to play at this level, right? Clog your shooting lanes.
Clog the shooting lane. You can see the ball movement and then the shot coming in from the point. Kudos to the goalie there for seeing that ball. What a stop.
Yeah, and with players like Kelly Procchio and net, right, you're just not going to beat them with long shots from the point.
No.
You have to get bodies in front. And when you're on the penalty kill, and we talk about clogging those shooting lanes, that's exactly why, right? Don't let the shot get through to your netminder. And if it does get through, it just ends up being a weak trickle where she can get a good glove on it for a whistle as the U.S. takes possession now along the near boards. Another good job there by Canada clogging that shooting lane. Right off the leg. Up into the glass it went. Fakes the shot from the point. One-timer shot. Oh, I think they rang the pipe. Procchio can't find it. It's all going in net. Now she does. Oh, boy, the United States shaking their head on the bench. I mean, up here, Mike, to me, that looked like it hit the pipe. I don't know. What did you see?
Yeah, I saw it come close to the pipe there, but unbelievable on the one-timer shot. Just so close, inches away from pocketing the first goal. USA really putting the pressure on this power play. We got 50 seconds left. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Karen Levin shaking her head as she walked off there. Still a battle here along the near boards. And one of the things I always love is you always hear the referee telling the players to move it, move it. Yeah, you know, a lot of times, right, Mike, the players just want to tie it up, but referee discretion.
Yeah, the last thing we want to do as officials is stop the play. Let's keep the ball going, keep the action going.
One-time attempt, see, easily seen by Procchio there for a routine butterfly save. So that's what we talk about. We say you're not going to beat them if they see the shot, wrist shot on net, save, U.S. So, no, that ball did not go in the back of that. Apologize there. From my vantage point, I saw the ball, what looked like in the back of the net, but it was actually behind the net. Got momentarily excited there. Not trying to be a homer. I'm from the United States here. I'm trying to be fair and balanced in my commentary, just trying to give you some excitement for a potential goal there. Hard to see from up here in the bird box.
Yeah, take a look at that replay. The goalie slides over to the right. USA again, just inches away. Love the pressure.
I think they feel like they have the momentum right now, Mike. As you said, inches away.
Yep. Comes a shot.
Goes wide towards the far boards, gathered up by the U.S. As Canada has successfully killed the power play, Coos comes back off. All even now, back at 5 women apiece. U.S. still with an aggressive forecheck, not trying to let Canada have any breathing room through that neutral zone. I'm sure that was a coaching point. Jennifer Wilson, that was one of the areas that they struggled in their round-robin loss against Team Canada earlier this week. Canada definitely dominated the neutral zone play on that. I think you were here for that game, right, Mike?
Yes, I was. They dominated is a bit of an understatement there. But yes, they did that indeed. Almost a turnover there. There we go.
We've seen a lot of that, a lot of hustle plays where it's, little stick work as Canada tries to get it up to Vigneault Sargent. Drops it off, U.S. on the back check. Again, not letting Canada have any breathing room. Vigneault Sargent tries a backhand attempt. That ends up going wide through the crease all the way to the near boards. Picked up by number 19, Catherine Murphy. Murphy, centering attempt. U.S. trying to get a clean breakout out of the zone here, but now it's Canada showing some aggression on the forecheck, not giving the United States any breathing room. Good pinch at the point there by Broom. Broom now has a lot of room to work with. Canada getting set up in the zone. United States needs to be careful here. Shot goes high off the glass, off the stick of number 26. That was Chelsea Karpenko. Back to the point, now over to Karpenko. Shot wide. Back onto the stick of Karpenko, shot, good butterfly save. Well, that's one of the things U.S. can't do, right, Mike? Can't let great players walk in all alone on your netminder.
No, they can. What I'm noticing here is both Canada and USA have a similar style of defending the power play. It almost looks like they situate themselves in a box formation or almost a diamond-like formation. Like you mentioned, clogging the shooting lanes. So this is really going to be a nail-biter. It's going to take one quick shot to get in the back of the net here with similar styles of defense.
Yeah, that's what makes this game so interesting to watch, right? They know each other so well. They've played so many times. Very similar styles of play. And now the U.S. bench is absolutely livid. They felt like that should have been a call, but that's just good hockey. Referees being smart there, right? Let the players decide the outcome of the game, right? You don't want to get into the area of what a lot of people say are chintzy calls.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Especially in a game like this, Chris, we really want the players to determine the outcome of the game. These officials will be looking for, scoring chance opportunities taken away or any high impact play along the boards or, open floor contact.
Yeah, right? What we call hockey value penalties, right? If a player's about to walk in all alone and you trip them to save that, that's a good penalty to take. Yeah, the referee's going to call that, right? It's smart hockey, but on a play like that, let's let the players have a say in the outcome here. As the United States hits a breakout through the neutral zone, Stedman running with it, rifles it all the way around the boards. As we just passed the 4-minute remaining mark here, and now Canada trying to give chase and put some pressure on the U.S., unable to. Intercepted by the U.S. in the neutral zone. Dumped in down deep as they're going to get some fresh legs. Stedman comes off. See Alexandra Vakos come on, along with number 6, Emma Seitz. Canada with it. Trying to wheel and deal through the neutral zone. No success there. Uh-oh, bad turnover off the foot of a U.S. player. Right onto the stick of the Canadian shot. Oh, outstanding positional save there. Boy, U.S. dodges another bullet, Mike.
Did you see how close that was?
I realized I did.
USA.
Well, Brooke Waleko certainly has her head in the game, as does Canadian netminder Kili Proku, who just left that off for her defenseman there. Waleko bailing out her team. Long shot, easily handled by Waleko. Canada now trying to make something happen in front of the net. Looks like Vigneault Sargent trying to get position, but Waleko stopping the centering attempt. Good stick work there with her goalie stick. U.S. still can't get it out of the zone here. They got to be careful as Canada goes, and that's a bad change now. United States has numbers, 3-on-2. Trying to get a shot off on net. Oh, just goes over the crossbar. Oh, bad change on the part of Canada there. Deflected wide. Number 6 for the United States, Emma Seitz, had all the time in the world. She was trying to pick her spot and just missed. Try and go back to that when we get a stoppage of play here as the ball is rattled around all the way to the far boards.
The USA here doing a great job at cycling this ball. holding on as their even strength here.
Shot, rebound, stuffed. As a couple of U.S. players. So going back to that play by Seitz, right? So it's a bad change on the part of Canada. You know, we talked about already the need to limit mental mistakes there. But if you're Emma Seitz, was that the right play?
Yeah, I think so. You know, USA transitions on a 3-on-2 here. You know, how do we limit those? How do we limit those bad changes? Because inevitably, it's a moment like that can be the turning point of this game.
Yeah, I guess my question was, you know, was passing there versus shooting? You know, she obviously decided to take the shot. Is that the right decision? I'll never criticize somebody for shooting, right?
I think it was the right move.
Fair enough. It's easy for us up here in the box, right? Because we have a bird's eye view of everything. But when you're down on the floor, you don't really see what kind of room you have. And now we're going to get a call, Mike. So Canada is going to go on the. I'll just turn this over to you. Obviously, you're the referee in chief. You can explain it to the fans back home.
Yeah, great call. Radka Simkova here is going to call yet another interference call. Canada just steps up, makes no effort to play the ball here, as you can see on the replay, and just takes a U.S. player out of the play. So USA is going to go on a power play here. As we've mentioned, they've got a great opportunity to play the ball. And I believe it was number 6, Ju Melanie, that is serving this minor penalty for interference. Here we go.
All right, thank you for the explanation there. Hope the fans back home appreciate having world-class referee here in the booth with us. Unfortunate mistake for Canada, but the U.S. will look to capitalize. One-timer score! The United States takes an early lead on the power play. They wasted no time. I believe that was 50. I was just about to say, no more than 15 seconds in. Absolute howitzer on the one-time attempt.
What a goal. What a goal. I'd love to see the replay here, but we've been talking about this all morning. The ball movement, the one-timer shots, it was going to matter of inches. Take a look at the replay here. The shot coming from the point just looks just over the glove.
Colleen Murphy
putting U.S. in the lead here, 1-0. Chris, I have to tell you, this is a massive goal. This is a massive goal for the U.S. Puts them in the driver's seat now. We've got a minute left in the second period. And, you know, they're going to go into this dressing room here, potentially in the lead. It's a big goal. It's a really big goal.
Yeah, you know, when you get into these semifinal games, right, just like at the NHL playoff level, first goals in any game are always huge, but they're magnified here when you get into these types of games, because momentum is such a finicky thing, right? Mike, you and I have been around the games our whole life. We've seen how momentum can kill a team, how conversely it can completely energize a team, right? So the United States outplayed in the first period. Canada takes an unfortunate interference call. U.S. goes on the power play. Boom, 15 seconds later, they're about to go into the intermission, right, with a 1-0 lead. As that is patted aside by Procu. Less than 10 seconds left here.
U.S. is probably just going to dump it back in here.
I think that's going to do it for the period it is. So we'll take a look at the body language here as both teams walk off. Well, looking at the Canadian bench, just don't see a lot of energy, Mike. Conversely, the United States obviously running to congratulate their goaltender. But for Kaylee Procu, there's nothing she could do on that shot. No, I'm a goaltender myself. That shot, you can't stop those. Those are too fast. It either hits you or you don't. You try and make a positional save. That's all you can do. As you see on the replay here, Murphy celebrate the goal.
Yeah, it looked like she made every effort to stop that ball. It just went on the inside of her glove. You know, did the best she could. USA with a 1-0 lead here as we are in the intermission with 9 minutes remaining. What a game, Chris. What a game.
Yeah, looking forward to the conclusion of this one. See who heads off into the gold medal game. We'll see you back here in 9 minutes.
Lass deinen Traum wahr werden. Wird zum Profi. ochsnerhockey.ch
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you
All right, and we are underway for start of the third period here. United States up 1-0 on a power play goal. Towards the end of the second period, absolute rocket of the shot.
Chris, it's going to be really interesting to see how Canada responds here in the third period. Their life is on the line.
It is. This is an opportunity to play for the big one, compete for the gold medal. You know, a lot of teams, you know, they choose not to celebrate silver, right? But really, the winner of this game, this is your celebration for winning the silver medal, because that's at the minimum you're going to go home with, right?
Right.
And I know it's kind of like superstition in hockey, right? You never want to settle for second best, all that good stuff. But these are world championship level athletes, and believe me, you're going to see them celebrate regardless of who's win. They may not be celebrating silver, but they know in the back of their heads that they're coming home with some hardware, and the year and a half of preparation was worth it. As the ball is rifled back in towards the Canadian zone. So just to get you up to date on stats here, and again, you can get live scoring and effect on stats at ISBHF.com. For the United States, Brooke Willetko pitching a shutout, has made 16 saves off of 16 shots, as Flooring is waved off there. And for Canada, Kelly Prokyu has made 17 saves on 18 shots. So shots pretty even, Mike.
Both goaltenders play really well.
As U.S. looks to get some fresh legs out here. Prokyu very smart, giving off what we call in goaltending a forceful rebound to make sure that the attacking player coming the other way is unable to stop their momentum and get a rebound effort on there. Good smart heads-up goaltending on her part. And getting back to your point, it'd be interesting to see how Canada reacts here, right, in the intermission. So if you're the coach, Mike, what are you telling Canada?
I'm telling Canada that they're playing well. They're playing well. Try and stay away from being in the penalty box. Keep moving that ball. Stay positive. Good things will happen. Good things will happen.
Yeah, that's one of the tenets of ball hockey, right? When you move your feet, good things tend to happen. As we have what sounded like a pretty loud collision into the near boards. No penalty on the play, just good solid hockey down there. Referee's letting the player decide it. As United States carries it into the zone, that was Dobson. Trying to get it over to Emma Seitz.
And you know, I really like the fact that both officials are letting a little shoulder-to-shoulder contact go here. You know, this game is typically a non-contact game. However, the referees have done a fine job in letting the safe contact go and not have a negative impact on the game. So it's really refreshing to see.
Yeah, and for those fans at home that are new to ball hockey, right, obviously the players are not wearing, you know, everything that they wear in ice hockey. So as, you know, Mike, you just said, this is generally a non-contact sport. There is minimal checking allowed generally, right, at the recreational level, only when you're battling along the boards, right? So like you'll never see what we call an open floor hit in ball hockey, right? It's just not allowed. It would be an automatic penalty. But at the World Championship level, you see a lot more battling along the boards as we get good stick work by the Canadians. Ball goes back in the neutral zone, and that's what we want to see, right, Mike? Let the players battle.
That's it. That's it. Just continuing to move the ball along. You know, there's incidental contact, we call that in officiating, and we allow that. We want that to not have an impact on the game.
Yeah, and again, these are world championship level elite athletes, you know, in the prime of their career that have worked really hard to get here. We want to let them decide the game as the ball goes all the way back out to the point. Long shot, and we just talked about that in the second period, right? Clogging the shooting lane, Mike. That's a perfect example why, as Taylor Stedman's in all alone, U.S. going to get some changes here. Now we're going to get a penalty.
Wow.
Is that a charging call,
Chris,
Mike?
I'm gonna be honest with you. This is an interesting one. I think this is the second charging call of the tournament I've seen.
Yeah.
Radka Sinkova seeing something. So charging typically meaning, you know, a couple steps, and Agostinelli here is going to take the charging minor penalty, which is going to put Canada up on the power play.
So I can't speak for what happened in Raron, but I can tell you here that this is in fact the second charging penalty I've seen. And I remember I was calling the game where the first charging call, and I said that is maybe the rarest call in all of ball hockey, charging.
Yes, it really is. You've got to take two to three strides to they get penalized on a charging. But we're up here, Radka's down there, and she may have seen something that we may not have seen. So Canada's going to turn around here and go up the floor with the ball. As you can see, they're setting up what we call little trap offense here. We'll see how they transition on this power play.
As we get back to it, Canada gains the zone. See if they're going to try and go tic-tac-toe here on a one-timer, which is generally what all the Canadian teams try to do. So Canada working it up at the point, quarterbacking it right now. Melanie Zhu down low, center attempt over to the far boards. That shot high and wide, rattles up around the near boards onto the stick of Upshaw. Canada trying to get the equalizer here. 1:05 remaining on the penalty as the U.S. is going to get some fresh legs. Bad passing attempt there, Mike. Got to call it what it is.
Yeah, they're doing their best here. They're doing their best here, but the lanes are clogged. USA's looking pretty dialed in on the PK here. We'll see if Sets dumps it in here. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just those mental mistakes, right, that you and I have talked about. You got to try and limit those. You know, that you didn't have a passing lane there. You try to force something through it. It ends up costing you, a full 20 seconds on the woman advantage here as Karpenko has it. Karpenko looking for a shooting lane, doesn't have one. Shot goes off of a foot. Good job again by the U.S. clogging the shooting lanes. Karpenko looking at her options here. A big battle down below in front. Both players jostling for position. That was number 24 for Canada, Alicia Demir-Pelletier, who was unable to get a screen going on the U.S. netminder, Brooke Waleka.
Well, looks like they're going to kill this penalty, Chris. Good job on USA. We're back at even strength now. Coming
Shot. Score! Wow. Just like that! Canada ties it up at 1 on what appeared to be a fluke play. It didn't even look like it was a shot attempt. They were trying to poke it towards the net right after the United States had killed the penalty. I have to take a look at a replay here and see exactly how that went into the net.
Chris, I'm absolutely shocked at this goal here. I saw this as a nothing play. Take a look at this replay.
You know what? I think she just missed it. From up here on that replay, it looked like she saw the redirect. She went to glove it and maybe just missed it. I mean, can't get a look at it. Obviously, when we're down on the floor, we're up here in the bird box, but not sure how that happened. And as you said, it looked like a nothing play.
Really did. Really did. Nonetheless, we're at 1-1 now, my friend. 8:45 left on the third period. 1-1 game. USA going to transition here out.
So the goal is off of the stick of number 34, Demir-Pelletier, as the U.S. tries to go on a counterattack, assisted by number 91, Tanya Guindon. Hey, credit to Guindon, heads up play, right? I've said this several times in my broadcast, if your worst option is to throw the ball on net, that's not really a bad option.
Nope, not a bad option at all.
And that's a perfect example why now, as Canada has all the momentum, they're trying to get some more sustained pressure here on the United States. Boy, what a stunning turn of events in this game. 8 minutes remaining. U.S. successfully kills a power play, and what appears to be a harmless redirect on net finds the back net. Battle along the near boards here. U.S. dumps it into the Canadian zone, gets some fresh legs. U.S. on the forecheck, and they win that now. United States has numbers, walking there alone. Shot, oh, what a stop, broke you, ball still loose. Oh, just goes wide. United States with an opportunity there. Long shot, rattles around on the boards. Boy, Emma Seitz almost gave the United States the lead there. Outstanding positional save on the part of Kelly Prokey. Yep. Good keeping at the point. U.S. sends it in just wide. Vakos trying to pick a corner there as the ball goes up in the Canadian bench. Getting back to that effort there by Seitz, Mike. We talk about in the United States, you know, American football is a game of inches. I personally say hockey's a game of millimeters.
Millimeters. Emma Seitz literally walked in there. I was surprised at the Canadian defense there. Take a look at the replay. Emma Seitz, you know, walks right into the slot, takes a shot. You know, unlucky break there. Could have gone up 2-1. Really close. We're going to have a face-off here in the neutral zone as it was deflected off of USA here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just uncharacteristic of Canada. You rarely see Team Canada, you know, who, listen, they have the most medals of any team in the women's division here in the International Street and Ball Hockey Federation. They are a powerhouse, right? I'm not trying to pump up their tires. I'm just stating facts. Everybody knows that they're a powerhouse. They know how to win. There's a reason that they're #1 all-time in medals. You just don't see that against Canada.
No.
So, I'm sure that, you know, the coaching staff is going to want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But Seitz, hey, credit to her. She took full advantage of it there. You know, pick a corner and, right, as you said, throw the ball on net. Good things happen. They ended up getting a rebound chance as we get back to the action here behind the U.S. net. Canada now in possession. Playing a little bit of pitch and catch. Shot easily handled there by Waleko. U.S. tries to chip it in the Canadian zone. Good chip back up through the neutral zone here as we approach the 6-minute mark. Remaining in this affair here. Winner goes to the gold medal game. U.S. getting some fresh legs behind the change here as that shot is fired off to the left of ProQ. Comes up along the near boards all the way towards the Canadian bench now. Picked up by number 91. Who had the assist, Guindon.
Is that Guindon again?
Yeah.
You know, she's been really pressing since that assist here to tie it up. She's been pressing. You can see her in front of the net.
Yeah, and when you get a point at a world championship, right, it just energizes you. So certainly the United States will want to keep an eye on her because she's obviously all ramped up. And when you have a lot of energy, when you know you help your team get the ball back into the net and tie the game up, you have momentum. You can just feel it in your bones. So I'm sure the United States will be keeping their eyes on her as Canada looks to gain the neutral zone, get a couple of fresh legs on here. Well, right now, Canadian forwards not moving their legs, and that's not good as the United States gets an opportunity here. Shot goes off the foot of number 2, Corey Jacobson. Left the stick of number 11, Hannah Lindy. United States now still with possession, time in the Canadian attack zone. Down low, shot blocked by Canada. Good job again, Corey Jacobson. Dumped off down low towards the far boards. Shot on net, easily steered to the side by ProQ. Canadian player loses their footing, but now gets effectively hip tossed, for lack of a better term, WWE style, but no call on the play. That's just 2 hockey players battling for position. Good no call by the refs. Canada now getting wholesale line changes. They're just going to dump it in. And we're going to get a flooring call here. So back to that WWE hip toss, Mike. Your thoughts?
I'm looking in the replay here. You know, both ladies are battling for the ball here. One shoulder's a little lower than the other. I think it's important we keep in mind there wasn't a scoring opportunity. We weren't really close to the boards. You know, probably looked worse than it was there, but didn't have an impact on the scoring opportunity. So I'm really impressed with the non-call.
U.S. wins the draw. Shot goes wide to the side of the net, rattles all the way around to the far boards, picked up by Canada onto the stick of Demir Pelletier. So Canada trying to gain the U.S. zone. They do. Broken up by the United States. Canada lost the zone. They are outside the zone now. Referees telling the Canadian ladies that they are offsides. There are 3:28 here remaining. It was a close play at the red line, Mike, but that's one of the great things about these referees, right? They're always in good position. There's a reason that they're chosen for these world championships. That ball couldn't have been more than a couple of inches past the line, but good positioning. We end up with the right call.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I'm glad you're bringing up the whole offside call here. Now that we're in playoffs, referees have the opportunity on a goal to review if there's a potential offside. So we've added that to the playoff rounds we want to get the call right. And given the incredible technology that we have here, we're taking advantage, making sure that we get the call right.
Absolutely, and got to commend our partners here from the tournament organizing committee helping to arrange that with the video crew that they have on staff here. Just a fantastic job as the ball is sent in down deep behind the Canadian net.
And it really is an incredible opportunity for everyone involved in the video review process. Unlike the NHL, there is no coach's challenge. The video reviews are all subject to referee discretion. So if there's a potential offside or potential did the ball cross the line or not for a goal, we can go to video review, which is just a wonderful element to our game.
So a U.S. player loses their footing there, looks back at the ref, no call. Chipped up through the neutral zone, intercepted by Seitz. Feel like I've called her name a lot. She's really been all over the floor today. As Canada applies a forecheck here. U.S. forwards not moving their legs here, so the defense is going to have a tough time trying to make an outlet pass. Now they've managed to get it chipped into the Canadian zone onto the stick of number 5 Dobson, threw it towards the front of the net. Nobody there to receive it. Vakos giving chase. Last 2 minutes of play in the third period. Canada, U.S. screaming for too many women on the floor. No call. U.S. was very adamant that there was. I didn't see it from up here in the bird box. So play continues on into the neutral zone. Goes back into the U.S. zone. They try to get it up, and it ends up hitting a body there on the floor there. So, Mike, maybe for the fans back home, when we talk about too many women on the floor, generally that's a mental mistake, right, on the part of a player. But in terms of how far does the player need to be from the bench?
Yeah.
Is there a rule of thumb?
Yeah, I think that's arguably the most controversial call in ball hockey. As you can see, we don't have the bench lines on this wonderful floor surface. It really is, where is the ball at the time that the line change is taking place? And, you know, is one person coming off too slow and another person coming off, you know, too fast? So quite candidly, at a minute 30 left in this third period, I think our officials are going to be reluctant to make that call.
Yeah, I would agree. As that shot was easily sticked aside by ProQ off the stick of Amanda Keene, number 93 for Canada. So still hemmed in along the far boards as we approach 1 minute remaining here in the third period. 1-1, Canada and the United States. Long shot from the point, hit a foot, goes wide. Thrown back in towards the net, hits another foot, ends up skittering all the way to the near boards. Ooh, turnover there by the United States, but then the Canadian player loses the footing. Lobbed up into the Canadian zone. The captain, Coos, gets it. 45 seconds remaining in the third. Canada trying to gain the U.S. zone. U.S. hems them in along the far boards. Still battling, still battling. Finally, the ball skirts loose. No passing lane there for Canada. U.S. shot, easily seen the whole way and swallowed up.
Wow, what a
by the U.S. netminder.
What a shot. I think that was Upshaw, 22 Upshaw on a really low shot. Great save as well.
Well, Waleka saw that the whole way. Obviously, she's not going to let in, you know, a goal like that from a good 30 feet away. I mean, yes, it's a fast wrist shot, but these are World Championship level netminders, right? We haven't seen one get past a netminder like that all tournament so far. Wouldn't expect it to start happening now as we end up with 15 seconds left. There's a shot. Oh, what a stop, Waleka! Defensive breakdown by the United States. Canada with a golden opportunity. I believe that's going to do it here in regulation as we're going to head to overtime, Mike.
Wow. Vinod Sarjan was in the slot there, took the pass, fired away, but a fantastic save. Unbelievable way to end regulation here, Chris. I'm starting to sweat a little.
I am, but you can see on the replay there, boy, that was an absolute laser. U.S. dodges the bullet at the end of regulation. So Brooke Waleka helping to send this into overtime here. There's just a brief 3-minute intermission here. We'll stay on air with you while we wait for the ball to drop. I'm going to head over to stats.isbhf.com and get to the final shots on net for regulation here for both teams. So, Gilly Procu, 20 saves on 21 attempts for Canada. And what do you know? For the United States, Brooke Wolecko, 20 saves on 21 attempts for Canada.
Unbelievable.
Dead even.
I've got to tell you, what an evenly matched game here. I found that USA was, somewhat in the driver's seat in the first period, and Canada bounced back in the second period. And the third period was quite evenly matched, and now we're going into our fourth period, our overtime period. Curious to see the response here.
So, Mike, we changed the rules at the ISBHF for overtime, but only for the finals. So for those fans that are just getting caught up on what happened, we had a great game last year at the 2023 Masters World Championships in Buffalo between Canada and the United States. Arguably one of the greatest games in ISBHF gold medal history. Back and forth affair. So it's 3-3. They go into overtime. Both teams have opportunities. There's a penalty shot from Denny Schlegel, the all-time leading point scorer, right? And neither team scores. And it ends up going to a shootout. And Canada ends up winning. Now, most people feel like had that game continued the way the rink was tilted in the favor of the United States, they probably would have scored. Now, we don't know, right? But that's just most observers feel like the United States had the momentum. Canada was able to get the gold medal win in the shootout. And I'm not taking anything away from Canada, right? Hey, the United States had an opportunity to shoot out. They failed to capitalize. Canada did. Hats off to them. But the United States Technical Committee met and they decided to make a change. So can we explain that to the fans at home?
Yes, so the ISBHF Technical Committee, had a meeting after that tournament, and upon hearing the voices of both nations, decided that it would be best to end such a vital game, ended in overtime, ended in 5-on-5, as opposed to a shootout. I think we'll leave the shootouts for the Euro Cup. Right. Since it's happening right now as well, but I think they made the right move. I think it's a good way to end that game.
Well, we are down to 20 seconds left here. As the referees get set. So there is what appears to be an issue at the timekeeper's box. I believe the timekeeper is trying to get the attention of the referee. Well, we are underway now. This is for all the marbles. U.S. dumps it into the zone. Kirsten Kuz, the captain, with it back behind the net. Rifled into the U.S. zone. Here's an opportunity for Canada. Bannon shot. Oh, what a stop. Rebound. Oh, what a stop again. Wolecko. 2 in a row. I gotta take a breather here. This is unbelievable. Gotta be careful with my voice, but hard not to get excited on plays like that. As a goaltender, boy, I just love to see great saves. Turnaround attempt goes off the side of the net. U.S. clogging the shooting lane. They just dodged a couple of bullets there, boy. I'll tell you, Brooke Wolecko standing on our headed net. 9 minutes remaining. As that ball goes all the way into the Canadian zone, and the United States is going to get some fresh legs out. Canada made a couple of line changes there, so they're going to dump it into the U.S. zone, but the U.S. bodies the player off the ball, takes possession. Back behind the net to Karen Levin. She had an assist on the goal by Colleen Murphy. Captain Colleen Murphy. So dumped into the United States zone, 8 minutes 13 seconds remaining here. U.S. takes possession back up into the neutral zone. Canada's got 3 defenders back. The U.S. their shot coming from Stedman off of Pro-Q. Rebound effort. United States was trying to dump that back for a shot that would have caught Pro-Q off balance there, but Canada intercepted it. They were trying to get it to the stick of Catherine Murphy as Canada gains the zone, trying to wheel and deal here. United States not giving them much breathing room as they poke check it into the corner. So the U.S. on defense, Canada on the attack here. Over to Coos. Center attempt shot. Went off the side of the net. Nice feed there by the captain, Kristen Coos. Back to Coos. Fakes the shot. Goes off of a foot. And then the U.S. gets it clear. That's going to end up as a flooring call, and they will not be able to get a change here. So the U.S. looking a little tired. 7 minutes, 13 seconds left. Overtime, United States and Canada. Boy, high drama here already in our elimination games. What a start to this day. Got a lot of action coming up for you here from beautiful Lanza Arena in Visp, Switzerland. There's some other games going on in Raron. Just an all-around exciting day of hockey here as these elite-level athletes compete to take home hardware after a year and a half of preparation. As Canadian player blows a tire, that was Zhu, manages to send it across to the far boards, intercepted by Canada. Feed all the way down in. They gain the U.S. zone. Good positional defensive work there by the United States, keeping the ball along the back. Center attempt, ooh, U.S. taking a little bit of umbrage there. That's number 26 for Canada, Chelsea Karpenko, who kind of got wrapped around away from the U.S. netminder, Brooke Wileko. Heads up play by Wileko there. You'll see on the rebound. I was gonna say U.S. got to be a little bit more heads up there because that ball went off of a foot, but Wileko was on top of it, kept that redirect from going in. But Canada right now with the pressure. U.S. hasn't really had anything to speak of in the overtime period. So 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Long shot. Goes wide. Picked up by the U.S. Hemmed in. Now back behind the net. Canada relentless on their forecheck. See if the U.S. can somehow come up with a counter here. Good pinch at the point by the captain, Coos. Coos hustling back to try to prevent the 2-on-1. Here's an opportunity for the United States. Shot! No, I don't think she got a piece of it. I think that went off the side of the net. Pro-Q gave the U.S. shooter nothing to look at there. Long outlet attempt, trying to see who the U.S. puts on the floor here for this flooring call, because Canada is not going to be able to get a change. So now Canada in danger here. It's a long shift for these players. So see who the U.S. puts on the counterattack if they try and take advantage of some gassed Canadian players. So the captain, Coos, comes back out. Vigneault Sargent will be out there, number 47. Number 2 for Canada, that is Corey Jacobson. And number 9, Genevieve Bannon. So let's see if Canada can just get it out of the zone. No, they're going to have another flooring call here. They're not going to be able to get a change. I'm looking at the body language of the players here. They're tired. They're walking, trying to get some oxygen in the lungs here. Listen, they're elite level athletes, right? But even at the NHL level, you can only run hard, you can only skate hard for so long. Eventually, you're going to run out of wind, as every human being does. So the United States with an opportunity here to take advantage of some tired legs as Canada tries to get it out of the zone. Good read by the United States, trying to get it down low, and a player all alone, unable to, picked up by the United States. Still trying to get a shot on net, unable to, with Sarah Hewson, number 8, goes all the way into the far boards, picked up by Canada. Will they be able to get some fresh bodies out as Coos comes to the bench? There's one. Shot on net, gloved by ProQ, and now both teams are able to get some fresh bodies out on net. Well, Canada dodges the proverbial bullet there. That was a golden opportunity for the United States. They got to be a little disappointed there as they were unable to get a quality scoring chance on Kili ProQ with some tired Canadian legs. So the face-off down deep in the U.S. zone. Won back by the United States. Rattled around by Jenny Simpson all the way along the far boards. Picked up by the U.S. Dumped into the neutral zone. Intercepted by Canada. Sent back in by Demir Pelletier. Back behind the net. U.S. goes to pick it up. Kat Helling with it. Sent high over the net towards the far boards. Good body work by both players. Intercepted by Canada. Poke check back in, but then the U.S. gains possession. Now they potentially have numbers here. Comes a 3-on-2. Canada hustling back to try and negate it. Long shot, bounces up, score! The United States gets the game winner. However, Canada is adamant that there was a high stick on the play. The Canadian crowd goes silent. The U.S. players hustling back to their bench. As we go to video review here, we'll take a look at the replay. Is this a high stick? That looks like a good goal to me, folks. That ball was below the crossbar, as was the stick. We will let the referees take a look at this. I'm watching it on the replay here. From my vantage point, it appears to be a good goal. The ball comes below the crossbar. The question is, where is the player's stick when they bat the ball? It appears to be from that angle below the crossbar. Again, I'm from the United States. Not trying to be a homer, pull a Jack Edwards here. I'm just trying to give you fair announcing. I'm taking a look at this replay. ProQ makes the initial save. So the original shot came off the stick of number 2, Corey Jacobson. I can't see the number on what looks to be the goal scorer.
I think it's not fair, 4:30. Normally 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Now I'm playing more than 5 minutes. It's not fair.
So everybody is taking a look at it who was involved for the ISBHF with video review. Listen, obviously, this is the call of the game. If the United States is awarded the goal, they are going to erupt. Conversely, for the Canadians, I'm sure they're going to be disappointed. But this is just one of those bang-bang plays. As you see, Kili ProQ taking a knee there. I mean, it's a heads-up play by Jacobson. Sir, do you know who scored? The captains, Colleen Murphy and Kirsten Coos, are talking with one of the officials at center floor here. The United States is huddled up. They are around the coaching staff. Good goal! And the United States goes to the gold medal game! Canada will play for bronze. They are stunned as the United States celebrates at center floor. What an unbelievable game to start the day. Well, I tell you, you really got to feel for the Canadians. And I would say the same thing if it was Canada on top here. Both goalies were outstanding. This is a 2-1 game in overtime. It's just one of those games, like I said in Buffalo last year at the 2023 Masters, all right? It's one of those games where it's a shame there has to be a loser. There really does. Because both teams played their hearts out. They really did, from start to finish. You know, Canada came out, they took the early momentum. The U.S. battles back in the second period, right? They end up taking the lead. Canada says, you know what? We're the defending world champions. We're not going to go down without a fight. They give it everything they have. As the Lanza Arena announcer announces the game-winning goal from Catherine Murphy. They're awarding the assist to Madeline Evangelous, number 2. We'll see who players of the game are. Well, listen, a lot of times in games like this, you end up giving it to the game-winning goal scorer, right? Because just being in the right place, you know, you call it Johnny on the spot, whatever you want, or Janie on the spot. In this case, I would not be surprised to see Cat Murphy. However, I would not be surprised to see the netminder get it for the United States and the netminder for the Canadians. You know, the way both of them played, again, I'm a goalie myself. It's tough when you play your heart out and you do everything right and you just don't get the result that you wanted, right? It's a W. For the United States, it's an unfortunate loss for the Canadians. They are knocked off as the defending champs. There is discussion right now between the Canadian coaching staff and the referees. I'm watching it diligently as Canadian captain Colleen Murphy comes over to listen in. Obviously, folks, I can't hear what they're talking about, okay? As soon as I have information about what this discussion is about, I will give it to you. Well, I just saw assistant coach Emily Mortier, who I did an interview with earlier this week, make the motion for a high stick. So I'm just trying to read the body language here. So she's talking about something with a high stick. And by the way she's shaying her hands, right, that's a referee signal that the play should have been blown dead. So now Colleen Murphy just said something back to Emily. Now the referees are talking. And by the way, Michael Wabi had to leave the booth to go down for overtime. He's the referee-in-chief in North America. I asked him to do color commentating to help us, you know, just provide a better experience for you, the fans, you know, partly to help me save my voice, trying to minimize the amount of talking because I have to call 4 other games today. And now Michael Wabi is down there talking with Emily Mortier and the Canadian head coach. Assistant coach Mortier seems to be the one doing most of the talking. Now, I've been around hockey a long time. You know, I'm 49 years old. I've been around this game a long time. I will tell you, whenever the assistant coach is the one doing the talking, generally it's because they are more familiar with whatever they believe is the infraction that they are arguing about. I promise you I will get full clarification on whatever the issue is. For all the Canadian fans back home that tuned in, look, I know you're disappointed, you're frustrated. But listen, these ladies have nothing to hang their heads about. This game could have went either way, as the player of the game for Canada is number 24, Alicia Demir-Pelletier. Congratulations to her. She played a heck of a game. Called her name a lot. She had that unbelievable look at the net in the third period. And the goaltender, Brooke Voleko, ends up winning player of the game. No surprise there. And listen, I would say if Canada would have won this game, I wouldn't have been shocked at all to see Kili Prokyu get it. You know, it's so hard to win at this level. When you have two teams like this that know each other so well, right? I mean, let's just be honest with each other. It's Canada and the United States, right? They play in a lot of the same leagues. Most of these players are from the Northeast, the southern part of Canada, or part of the Northeast United States, southern part of Canada. And they've been playing each other for many, many years. This game is if there ever was a game where it could have went either way, this is one of those games as they play the United States national anthem.